This week here on Sailing Vessel Liger, we reached quite a big milestone that I had hoped we'd never reach, and that is that we have now been here in Trinidad on the hard stand to have our warranty issues rectified on our Leopard 45 for a year. So we have been here for a year. It's very difficult to find the adjectives to describe how disappointing that is, that we are still here. But we have to make the best of that situation, and this week the way we're doing that is we are going ahead and reinforcing the deck on the port side. So in our aft cabins on our port and starboard side, there was a significant amount of flex in the deck. Like, someone would walk up the starboard side, I'd be laying in bed, someone would walk up and it would sound like a herd of elephants were stomping on my head. And when the panel sail came down and we had a look with someone walking, you can really see the deck moving up and down.
Go on! And it's so bad it shakes all the railings. The railings are not on. I mean, he doesn't weigh much. He's only little. But this whole deck piece is like flexing and bouncing, and it only does it here. Stop!
When comparing the two sides, there were discrepancies between how they had been reinforced in the factory, and some of the wood around one of the hatches was broken. Some attempts were made last year to reinforce that area, but it wasn't enough to actually resolve the issue. The starboard side was reinforced within the last week or two by a contractor from JS Marine who worked alongside Tynan. Port side needed to be done, so Tynan and I took over, got on the tools and got that done. Ready?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Let me do what you're doing, because it sounds like you're jumping, but you're not. You're just walking.
I'm literally just doing this. It sounds bad because this rattles because the whole stanchion's moved. Like, oh!
What?
Dude, give me that.
The stanchion's flex in and out.
Yeah, as I like go step to step.
Recording.
Like, that moves in and out. That's bad. Is that rattling? Like, I'm not even stomping. My feet are barely coming 10 centimeters off the deck.
I've made these pieces of teak that are shaped to the contour of the deck underneath. So we're going to make some epoxy paste, bond these up, and then once it's cured we'll glass them to the underside of the deck. So one will go here, that's it. One will go there, one will go here, and one will go here, and we're going to bond it to the brace that they've put in and fiberglass this all the way around their brace and onto the underside of the deck. My hair's falling out. There's going to be epoxy in it. So I've bonded those two in with fast cure, but this one takes a little bit more time, so I've used a slow cure. I've basically covered the whole surface with epoxy filler, with the epoxy resin and 404 filler, made a paste, spread it in there, and then also spread it onto the wood, and then just pushed it up, and then put some blocks in to hold it in place. And now I'm just, because it's going to get fiberglassed, I'm just going along with the silicone tool and putting a radius in the corners. So when it comes to fiberglass, there's already a curve, because fiberglass won't stick into a 90-degree corner.
So you're saving yourself some time.
Radius, yeah.
Your cabin's looking fantastic.
Yeah, I just got it. I just finished it. Just managed to find a home for everything, and then everything got turfed back out. It's just no winning. In an hour's time, the epoxy should have formed a skin. So if there's any like drops or bits that I want to touch up, I can just stick my finger up there and push it into place or whatever, because it turns into like Play-Doh, if you know what I mean. So I can come back in an hour, clean it up, so there's less sanding to do when I go to glass.
Well, Tynan, I'm glad you've done such a good job fixing the cock locker.
I think, yeah, I don't know what that was about. I'm starting to cut the fiberglass to do the deck reinforcement on the port aft cabin. I've already got fiberglass in my hand.
While we were downstairs, Tynan and we made a paper template of what we think the smallest layer should be. Now we're just fitting it up there, making some adjustments, and then from there we can work out what the rest of the layers are going to look like. So in this instance, cutting fiberglass, it's a lot like marking out fabric, so that I can do. Is it long enough or too short?
No, it's fine.
Fine? You got enough?
Yeah.
Cool.
So that'll be the smallest piece.
So what we've done, we did the template of the smallest size, and then we measured out the largest size, and from that we've calculated what we need to do the 3 pieces. 2 of them are the same and 1 is different, shall we say, because of a previous repair attempt. And then because we don't want to waste fiberglass, what we've done is created a little sheet to try and optimize how we're cutting up the sheet. So hopefully this works. I believe my math is correct.
We would like to thank Leopard for supplying the fiberglass and resin used for the reinforcements, helping us to regain confidence in our hull.
I was should have been the dux of my high school for technical drawing. It's just the teacher I like left, and his replacement made me do stuff that was junior high school work. So I quit the subject just before the end of year 12. So I'm not so bad at marking things out. That is my technical skill. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is cut this, and then there's another little dodgy piece hanging off the end here. I think I can use that. That's probably about the right length. Yeah, the best piece here will be long enough to do the duplicate of that. So at least this way we've salvaged as much of this fiberglass as we can. I'm just marking what is the last piece. It is utter perfection, if I say so myself. Not bad for my first time ever trying to mark out and cut fiberglass. The only thing is I didn't realise how hard it was to cut, but you get that. If anyone would like to hire me as their fiberglass trade assistant, I'm not for hire, because after this boat I never want to look at a piece of raw fiberglass ever again. Alright, Tynan. I think it's time for you guys to go have a beer, because it is like 5 o'clock on a Sunday and we are well overdue for knock-off time.
So the epoxy's cured. That's holding the reinforcement teak up at the moment. So I've just spent some time keying everything up, getting it all prepped and wiped down with acetone. Yesterday we cut our fiberglass, so now it's just a case of making a great big mess and sticking it up there.
I don't like the way you put that.
But yeah, I've already got all the resin set up, so I'm going to make a quick paste.
What have we got? Ooh.
So I'm going to add some 404 filler and make a thick paste, and then put it into the radiuses, and then I'll put a little bit of 404 in with the resin we'll wet the fiberglass out with to help it stay up there as well.
By virtue of the fact that I'm here, today I get to help Tynan with fiberglassing, which is not usually in my area. I'm usually like logistics and clean jobs. So I had to go buy myself an accessory because over the last year I have watched Tynan fiberglass, and I've heard some absolute horror stories from some of the other women in the yard about their hair and epoxy. So I have an accessory. This is the problem with having a man bun. You have to make sure your hair is back too. Before this whole journey started, he had short hair, and it's become a running joke back to Cape Town that he will not cut his hair until the warranty on this boat is done, which, as you can see from the length of it, it's been going on for a while. But as a result, Tynan also has to be quite careful with epoxy, because there's been more than one time that you've ended up with epoxy in your hair, or gel coat,
Yes. I have broken 2 combs.
I'm not doing that. Tynan went to the chandlery after I expressed that I was going to have to wear a hairnet or something, because I do not want anything in my hair. He bought me a sock. Oh my god. This is like an experience. I think I'm going to have to put my hair up first. Don't you draw a moustache on my socky when I'm not looking. And if you do, I request a French one. Like a...
With big monobrow.
No!
Good luck.
Oh, there's still a bit of... What is this?
I know.
What is this bit? Oh, this is not pretty.
Better than epoxy in your hair.
Yes.
Skrillex haircut.
What?
Show us what you got. The inspiration book.
Oh, look at that. That's the whole country. It's just like that.
Yeah.
You get there with the boat. You get there with the boat. You just go like you could anchor in there. Like.
See, that's out the plane window flying over Palawan on the way to Boracay.
It's under the boat in that tourist lagoon. And swam down.
Do you remember what happened after though?
Yeah, I want to cook it.
Yeah, and the lady who ran the random shop just up from the hotel let us borrow her stove.
Yeah, they thought it was hilarious. Aren't you supposed to be helping him?
He didn't want my help. He wants to play finger paste.
Oh. I'm off the dinghy when it's well, so he can sit under it and drink. So that's wet glass he's putting up.
Based on what the contractors have taught us and the sound logic behind it, we put the smallest piece on first, then stagger it out like a pyramid so that there's overlap with each piece contacting the hull.
You can just hold it up.
Be careful, this might flick a bit of resin.
Oh my god, I don't want you to get it in my eyebrows.
So he's rolling the they're working on something like this.
Yeah.
Get some light on. They're reinforcing the deck here.
Do you know why Tynan's green before?
No, you can tell me.
Epoxy dripped into his mouth.
Oh, yuck. Not the worst thing that's dripped into his mouth though.
Look at who wants to even have friends. Oh, the tarp is stuck to my toes.
Yep, we'll do
Oh, yuck.
that. We'll do that.
This one's sticking a lot better than your last one.
Yeah,
What'd you do different?
I waited longer.
Yeah, I think that was a solid move.
Can you get the scissors
Yeah.
and just this long strand. Just cut it, or not.
It's incredible the natural propensity of a British chap to
Oh, I
build a
gotta say, my-
boat to conquest the world with. Natural, genetically programmed ability
Natural acumen.
to rebuild boats. Ooh. And you can cook, ladies. So we got Handmaid's Tale, Horatio Hornblower.
Fellatio Hornblower.
Well, whatever you are. Look at these two. Oh,
Teamwork makes the dream work. Oh,
Moustache.
go away. Today is day 3 of bonding in the deck reinforcements on the port side. You'll have to excuse they're washing the roof down at the moment, but day 1 was bonding in the teak reinforcements that Tynan templated and made. Day 2 was putting the tabbing that we put up yesterday. That's dried overnight, so now we're going to do the rest of it. So hopefully by the end of today, we'll be completed that entire project. So have you done the radius already?
Yeah. I was just saying to Telicia then, the West Systems epoxy resin that we're using. The epoxy resin we're using, West Systems, it's a 5-to-1 ratio. If you're using their pumps, then you just do one pump resin, 1 pump hardener, because they've made the pumps to make the 5-to-1 ratio already. So once you've been inhaling acetone all day, mixing 5-to-1 seems like trying to land on the moon. So 1.
Today is actually kind of a special day for us. Today is our 1-year anniversary of arriving in Trinidad. So it's not our whole anniversary just yet, that's later in the week, but this is the 1-year anniversary of being in Trinidad. And Tynan is going to celebrate it doing his favourite activity.
Hating life.
Oh, cheer up little emo kid. Oh, I see you've like followed my little naming system. Yesterday was like my first day ever dealing with fiberglass, because that's just not usually, like we go to where our skill set is. My skill set is exports, paperwork, provisioning,
kitchen.
Look, I'm a better chef than you guys. I'm not going to be like, ooh, I can't cook. I can.
Not making beds.
But look, I don't do that. This isn't a full service boat.
Full service tish.
But yesterday was my first time. I'm glad I wore this because he got epoxy in his hair and I didn't. I kept getting epoxy on my feet and it was driving me nuts, because then I was like having acetone baths. So now I'm gonna wear these when I'm up there and take them off when I get down. It's gonna work. Unlike him, who's just destroyed a pair of socks.
These socks are already destroyed.
I can't. This would be the most roundabout way of doing a boat rebuild project anyone's ever thought of.
You see, we're unique. So we didn't go out and find a 20 grand monohull and build that from scratch. No. We paid like $1 million for a brand new boat and we're like, yeah,
Let's build this from scratch.
let's build this bad boy from scratch.
Can you pass me the scissors? Down there.
You have epoxy on your leg.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry.
You just stab him with the scissors.
No, I just opened them.
It's on camera.
I think
Donk.
it's very dramatic.
It's on camera. It makes me laugh when I get other people up on this boat and I was like, what do you think of the deck here? And they're like, what's broken underneath? I'm like, no, that's just how it is.
Yeah, it's just the boat.
Can you kind of get my fringe and put it somewhere?
He needs a bobby pin.
Oh, that's so cute. Look.
Yeah, we have feelings on them. I'm going to braid your hair next
Chris
time.
bonding. Wait, see if there's any fleas in there. We don't have to pay for lunch then.
No, but there's a lot of epoxy. I should like Viking braid your hair for you. That'll keep it out the way.
Oh, do you want to take that down and clean it out?
Mm-hmm.
So watch where you put your hands. I'm tapping these ends.
So he's putting these bits of wood in
Okay.
because the wood's really, really cheap here. And he's tabbing the wood in. You've told those guys they can't go on this side here.
Yeah, it's all blocked off still.
Yeah.
This end I did yesterday. And now I'm doing this end.
Cool.
So you like just gotta keep
Touching it up.
on it. Make sure it sticks up there.
It's off the deck. Now that we've finished with the reinforcement of the decks above the aft cabins, we're looking at what we can do next. So what we are doing is a mixture of helping resolve warranty issues because, you know, ultimately we bought this boat to go cruising, so we'd like to get out of here and actually go and do that. And also doing little projects for ourselves that they don't interfere at all with the warranty work schedule, but they just make us feel a little bit better about being stuck in a shipyard for so long. We'll keep chugging away, trying to stay positive. It's hard though, I'll be honest. And hopefully get ourselves into a position where we can launch before the next hurricane season starts, because that would be devastating to spend 2 hurricane seasons in a row. We do appreciate everyone's kind comments, the messages, the support that you give us. It does help a little bit, so thank you.